Hey everyone, Miacidae here. Welcome back to Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. So we just started off in Chapter 3, more or less finishing off the festival that got us named as a Rogue Trader officially. Although we have been acting as a Rogue Trader of the Von Valancius dynasty. We technically weren't one in name or something like that. And we had to do all that rigmarole up until now to save everything so we could get named as one, or officiated as one, technically, or something like that. So now that we are one, we're starting off here in Dargonus, and Yrliet wanted to talk to us about something about a voidship, was my understanding, so that's where we are picking up off at. So, Elentalk, at last you have left your ornate cage. For many a turn I have sought to meet you, and yet your servant, the one who looks like a silver-haired Abelard, but twice as young, has no favor for the request of a child of Assyrian. Take me to a place where the hearing of others will not steal the words intended for you. So back in here we go, right after I left. Great. While you were mending the wounds of this world left by the Twisted One's attack, I was able to discover, no, not Crudark's fate, merely traces of it. As Murdan found sanctuary under the boughs of Liliathan's forest, so did my other kins find refuge in a system known as Atlas's Reach. We must make a journey there with haste, before new dangers destroy the witnesses who can show me the way to the lost Crudark, whose fate remains shrouded by the stars. She focuses her piercing gaze on yours. Their knowledge is a soul thread that may lead me to the truth, Elentalk. I ask that your metal-winged ship take me along that thread before it tears under the strain of time and circumstance. How were you able to contact them? I did not contact the Assyrian. I have no means to do so, but I have had enough time to explore the stone jungle of your world while you were preoccupied with your urgent matters. The path of the outcast has taught me to observe and listen to the world around me, and in this case, the throngs of monkey at port, errant conversations, rumors, chance words, like parts of a speckled mosaic, they came together to form the hazy image my kin were seen in the Atlas Reach. And now all we have to do is pull at the web of connections and possibilities to uncover whatever is concealed from the unseeing eye. So give me the coordinates and we'll go. You will? The ice in her eyes melts away for a moment. Thank you, Elentalk. If this path indeed takes me to the truth, I will be indebted to you. A rare happening between our kinds. Let's go. I want to get off this planet. Is that a companion quest, technically? No, that's a normal quest. Interesting. Out of curiosity, before we go, I want to talk to Scalander and the Curiosity Merchant and see if they have anything new. Because new chapter and all. He does not. Okay. Scalander, my friend. Anything new? New chapter, nothing new to say to me. I am disappointed in you. Alright, let's get off the planet. Bye-bye, Dargonus. I can leave. I have a feeling Yrliet is going to be needed on this quest, so I might need to throw some new gear on her. But I have a feeling we have the gear to do that. Although I should take a look at her while we are on the ship. Before we go to, I believe it was Atlas's Reach. I have nothing else here. Troubling developments, may wait for news. Yeah, so this is literally the only thing I have. Okay. I mean, I'm fine with it. I just wanted to make triple sure before leaving. It's kind of funny that 41st century, normal handcuffs are still a thing. Can we do anything new here? With our worlds, doesn't look like it. Okay. So before I go and do much, Yrliet has the Outcast Visor. Whenever she kills a target with a single range attack for the first time in Oh, that's in combat, not per round. Makes an additional attack. That's fine. Her armor is a 35, and I can put a 40 on her. So I'm going to do that, just so she's slightly more protected. And since the 40 is better than this Cabellite armor, I'm just going to cargo this. I looked up the perk or the talent I had wanted on some of the other characters. And this, just to show it here, because this do carry equipment one, and then to a greater extent, I had wanted Eldari equipment on my main character because there's some stuff that's technically really good for my character. It seems like without using a mod called Toy Box, no one but Yrliet and a hidden character can get it, which I am really disappointed in. Essentially what it's kind of doing is like, that armor is more meant for Eldari bodies, which if you look at it, but even Cabela, who's like one of the thinnest people, is a lot thicker than Yrliet, even arm-wise and stuff. So if you think about it, like, it kind of makes sense, I guess. And then with the Eldari stuff, just the faces are different, and that it's meant to mold to their faces. Kind of makes sense, but it is disappointing that you can't use their gear, but you can use their weapons if you're trained enough in it. But the other gear you need like modifications, so unfortunate, but it is what it is. She has a lot of gear that I can slot up, so let me see what I can do here. Well, I put what I could on Yrliet. There's some stuff that wasn't the greatest, but it's what I had sitting around. So let's see where this Atlas place is. Oh, it's a new cluster up there. I still find it funny that there's two paths here because I had to re-travel to it. Vabo 6. Where's Vabo 6? I'll go back to that one on my way back from Atlas 6. Colony requires my thing, but I can't really do anything with these until whatever. So, it is colonized. That seems like a good thing, but I suppose that's how it's colonized. And then right now, Atlas's reach is deadly, but we can make it safe. So we had the 50 insight. Chart new routes. Is there anything around here? Nope. Okay. But we did get another insight. And survey says there's a few worlds here. Some space dust, some asteroids. Lord Captain, according to our telemetry, we have arrived at the coordinates you specified. The augurs do not register any activity on the surface of any local planets, biology or otherwise, but maybe the Xenos are using their arcane technology to conceal their presence. Despite this, the augur crew managed to locate a faint signal at the system's edge. According to their data, it is coming from an unidentified vessel drifting in the orbit of a local gas giant. My kin could have been faced with a new threat, scavengers like pirates or something worse. If they were taken prisoner, her voice is trembling with something that could be either anger or fear. I am begging you, Ellentalk. Let us go to the shuttle. I can feel the thread of fate has frayed and is about to snap. I cannot miss what may be our only chance to solve the mystery behind the disappearance of my home. That was enough experience for us to level up and get to the next archetype. So I want to take a look at this before we go there. How do? Okay, it wasn't letting me into Exemplar at first. I was clicking on it, but it wasn't letting me. So there's a lot of new things here. So I need to take a lot of looks at these really quick. So I'm gonna cut recording, see what ones I want, because this is gonna take a lot of time, which is a lot of data, which I don't exactly want to use. So what I didn't notice here until I got to nearly the bottom of the list is these are things known as exemplar talents. So these are talents that are only available to us when we hit exemplar, and then it looks like we get a first tier exemplar talent, and common talents are going to be something entirely different. So I went through and marked a bunch of these, but these are really good. Like, all damage dealt by the character is now increased by 3% until the end of combat for every new enemy damaged by them this combat. Some of these are really good. But for my first exemplar talent, I think I'm going to take vital points, because I do a lot of critical hits and I can force critical hits. So whenever I score a critical hit, I have a chance to increase my critical damage bonus by half. So I'm not sure how they have a chance to increase their critical damage bonus by half. So it increases the damage bonus that my critical goes up by, and therefore like my critical amplifies even more. But that chance is equal to character's critical hit chance divided by minus 50% minimum 0. So I mean, I would still have a critical hit. If I had that 50 or a guaranteed critical, it would be a minimum 50% chance, I think. So vital points would be a pretty good pick as a starter. And then first tier, I'm not sure this is any different. And then there's second tier as well. So I got to look through these as well. So it looks like the first tier archetype talents are just talents that I can get from my first thing, which would have been operative. The second tier archetype would have been from my bounty hunter. So I'm going to take fresh target here. Whenever the operative attacks an enemy that's at full wounds, I deal 16% more damage. There's a few decent ones that were left here that I never got, but some of these can be still pretty good, but fresh target's just more damage still. I like that. Abelard here. So I just went through and marked like everything for everyone that I really cared about. I was kind of surprised that with the Idira, there wasn't anything. Oh, and Cassia, there wasn't really anything for psychic powers, but such as it is. So Abelard here had some really nice tanking ones, and like Unbreakable Will here, bonus to all resistance tests. Immune to all effects of reduced MP. Otherwise, like, gains additional 12 wounds and wounds that further increased by toughness by increasing toughness by 10 times toughness bonus in the same way that are basic wounds. And otherwise, just giving him basic tanking things like plus deflection here. I can give him extra AP. I can make him reduce enemy armor more. So he has a lot of stuff that he can do. Or I can have him build more momentum. So like, he's really going to be a good tank, but I think I'm going to have him get that resistance stuff just so that nothing can happen. And then the first archetype bonus, I can get Clenched Teeth where you gain 7 deflection against the first attack made by every enemy this combat. So I mean, it's not every turn, but it's minus 7 damage every combat for every enemy, which could add up. For Argenta here, there's some kind of nice damage ones that I really liked. Any damage this character deals is increased by +1 for every attack they have made this combat. Does not count for bleeding, burning, or toxin damage, but she can deal a lot of attacks really, really quickly, and every time she attacks, she deals +1 more damage. And if that applies to her burst attacks as well, that just adds up really quickly for her bolter attack. So I want to start with the extermination on her. Then I get a first tier one, so I want to take another look at these. The soldier's second attack action in a turn deals 19% more damage to enemies that have not suffered damage during this turn. So if I'm attacking a second enemy, it just deals more damage. Sure. Cassie got some nice ones for Exemplar as well. And I'm going to start with Firebrand here. If an extra turn given by the character's abilities or talents grant MP, the target gains an additional 4 MP. If AP, they get 1 additional AP. So Cassia does a lot of that. Giving extra MP and or AP is great. And first, the archetype, this is where I thought I got like everything I wanted. So whenever an ally is affected by an officer's ability or talent that grants temporary wounds, that grants them temporary wounds. You know, if I take heroism, I can start attacking more with Cassia. Not that I often do, but it could be a nice extra thing there. I'm gonna try Death Dealer out on Pascal, so whenever he takes an enemy out in a round, that character immediately makes an attack against the closest enemy they can with the same weapon if possible, using whichever attack costs the least AP. This attack deals 30% base damage with the 10% bonus for the difficulty tier of the first enemy killed, i.e. if the enemy was to tier 1, this attack does 40% damage in total. If it's tier 3, it would do 70 or 60% damage total. So I'm not sure if that means if I take him out with the Eagle, I would get the extra attack, but I'm willing to take the perk regardless. I was hoping I could get the Mechadendrite thing that gives him the tech use up, but doesn't really look like it. Oh, here it is. Utility Mechadendrite. Mechadendrite equipped with all kinds of tools, communicate with machine spirits, increase tech use and demolition by 10. That's what I was aiming for before and never got, so surprised this didn't have a favorite on it. So just in case. And then finally, Solomorn. I'm not sure what I would want, but, well, we can go with Cataclysm. All damage dealt by him is increased by 3% until the end of combat, until for every new enemy damaged this combat. So stacking 3% damage for everyone he hits with his shotgun doesn't seem bad. And then first archetype, he's a soldier. So what can we get for you with this? I mean, Fired Up seems like a good one. Whenever he deals damage, the critical damage is increased by 1% until the end of combat. Surprised he doesn't have Swift Slaughter, actually. Yeah, we're going to take Swift Slaughter so he can use Revel and Slaughter at 2 instead of 3. And then we'll just leave the rest for now. So we're going to go straight to the Chartist vessel and see what's in there. And like I thought, Yrliet has to come with us, so I'm going to level her quick. Chartist's vessel. Alright, let's see what's here. Intimidated officer, bridge officer, and bridge officer. Hi, guys. I just jumped forward there. The lanky, haggard-looking officer with sunken cheeks stares at you in fright. His body is shivering as if from a feverish chill, and his eyes are darting back and forth anxiously. Your lordship, rogue trader, what brings you to our humble ship? Stop shivering like a leaf in the wind, monkey. Answer me, have you seen others like me in this system? If you have, tell me where, when, and under what circumstances your path crossed and diverged afterward. The officer's eyes widen at the sight of Yrliet. His face grows even paler than before, and his lips move in a wordless prayer, unable to utter a word in response. A whirlwind of orange and blue torments under their souls. Can you not feel its gusts in the air all around us? Its hues are terrifying indeed. What are you so afraid of? The officer glances at Yrliet in fear, and he forces out a word. Pain. She's not a Drakhuri. The officer swallows and gives you a strange look, and then closes his eyes. Emperor, forgive me. Forgive me. Okay. What's he doing? He pointed at me. Oh no. Drakhuri? Miacidae.
I'm beginning to think that your kind is eager to step into our snares.
Some kind of nerve toxin, it looks like. Yrliet, what did you drive me into this time? You gasp, sucking in the poisoned air, each breath scorching your insides with liquid fire from throat to lungs. Each cell in your body is engulfed in maddening pain, as if you were being doused with molten metal, skinned alive, and subject to yet another form of torture. You hear sounds coming from somewhere far away, the moans of you people, the shuffling of bare feet, and light footsteps getting slowly closer. Rogue traitor. A long-awaited meeting indeed. You can barely see anything through the haze of agony, but you still remember that voice well. The voice of the Xenos who devastated your capital world. Miacidae's face is hidden behind a helmet, but his tone leaves no room for doubt. He's smirking. What have you done? Dissatisfied, are you, my kin? I promised that you would have had your precious craftworld survivors, and so you will. I'll take you to them, and I might even be there to witness your jubilant reunion. The inferior flesh has betrayed me. Even Pascal's down, and I thought he had a respirator that, like... helped with this kind of stuff. You must be punished. You must have punished it poorly, Iron Monkey. No matter, as a captive, you'll learn how to apply the art of torture to make it fear the very thought of betrayal. So he talked Yrliet into this? Miacidae takes a close look at your companion squirming in agony, then gestures nonchalantly at someone you cannot see. Bring in the injectors. The monkey promised to Cervantes are among them, and I do not want to see these wretches move an inch until they are in the hands of the Arch Mechanicator. As for you, you will have a share of paralyzing dreams too, but I am going to keep you. You are far too precious to be surrendered to a madman playing with fire. Negotiate with me. We can still come to an agreement. Would you negotiate with a worm, or say, a pet? After I am done with your training, you will never even think of such insolence again. His last words fill your head with the deafening echo of a ship's siren. The gas creeps deeper into your lungs, eating away at them hungrily as the agony spreads down your every limb. You are suffocating. So Yrliet sold us out, huh? It makes me wonder if she's leaning... Because the Drakhuri are like, essentially Dark Eldar. And she somehow was like, they don't have a soul or something like that, so is she slowly losing hers? Or did she just so much want to see the survivors of Great Ark that she was willing to do this? And we didn't build enough of a connection with her? I'm wondering at what the circumstances were that led to this. Or if this was just a thing that was supposed to happen. Are you enjoying this sensation? I had this poison made for you. Who could have thought that a monkey would one day earn such an honor, a special gift from a Drakhuri? But you're suffering. I knew the taste would be exquisite. Were I to add a touch of the Drakhuri's talent for extracting anguish. Oh boy. And then he just leaves. However, there will be a time for that later. No matter how I wish to play with you, all one after another, I need you for a purpose, rogue trader. Chimera awaits you. All of you, mandrakes, take them, leave none behind. So it's the mandrakes that got me. Okay. With some special poison. 16 hours and 40 minutes past. That's some specific. Obsidian Court. And they also got Yrliet. So I wonder if we can break her out. Why does that look like a leg that's hanging? Probably because it is, looking at everything else around here. Your consciousness emerges from an ocean of darkness and nightmares, as if someone's powerful hand reached into its depth and brought you into the light. In the dark room, long and angular shadows move around and exchange remarks. One of the shadows approaches you, ripping apart the veil of pain and revealing features that look familiar to you. You are awake, monkey. Miacidae's voice is sickeningly sweet. He's looking at you with idle interest, rolling a soft, milky-colored object from one hand to another. Our toxin master spared no effort to drag you out of the induced dream. I must commend the nightmare weavers. The emanations of fear you exuded in your delirium are worthy of the highest praise. However, it's time to finish what you were brought here for. It's time to work for the good of the Cabal, rogue trader. And what do you want from me? Only the truth. It's very simple, is it not? A little honesty before the powers that be, and I have the tools to extract the most coveted mysteries from the deepest recesses of your mind. But I am not interested in your personal secrets. I only want that which will protect my Cabal. So why am I still alive? A good question. You are my tool, you see, a sharp and narrow scalpel that I will use to cut away the festering boil of the body of my cabal. I spared no effort to set up this performance. The witnesses, the spies, the agents, and a small bargain to guarantee the result. All that's required of you is to quietly play your part. I will even go so far as to put you in your native surroundings, in a matter of speaking. But if I see you stepping out of your role, I'll make sure that you bitterly regret it. I might be able to play that role better if I knew what it was. He's silent for a few moments, playing with the mysterious object in his hands. You, monkey, hate creatures alien to your kind, and this hatred is fueled by primal fear and awareness of your insignificance. To us, you're cattle that exist to be butchered and to entertain us. Sometimes we use you in our little games, but to involve you filthy brutes in the politics of Camorra, let alone in feuds between cabals, there are few worse ways to bring dishonor upon oneself and one's cabal. From the first day I saw you, I knew you were being controlled by another's hand, far too experienced and flexible to belong to another monkey. You stayed ahead of me, and Tazara anticipated our moves, fought back with surprising skill, and I can guess, I know exactly how you were able to know so much. Only one creature was sufficiently aware of our tactics and raid plans. You will help me expose her and restore the Reaving Tempest to its former favor. I'm going to take that 7%. Failed. So I have a secret for you, something your spies and agents failed to uncover. He cocks his head. No, monkey. You have nothing that I could extract from you myself, using my favorite tools. He gestures to one of the shadows near you, and your head is forced backwards. Marzahai brings the hand holding the strange object closer. You manage to make out a translucent, glossy skin, bluish, pulsating organs beneath, and a little head with serrated jaws before the Drakhuri pushes the larva into your face. Oh boy. Karus' test failed. Sensing warmth, the creature springs into motion. A moment later, as it blindly pokes at your skin, it discovers your nostril and rushes forward, stretching the skin and tearing through the mucous membrane. Unbearing pain overwhelms you as the larva begins to force its way through the soft tissue and cartilage, each of its movements causing a crunching noise to reverberate through your skull. The creature greedily bites into flesh and moves ever upwards, past the bridge of your nose, past your eye, and then something alien invades your consciousness. Darkness clouds your eyes, but the sensation of an alien presence does not relent. This is not a conscious mind, but something primitive, yet unbelievably strong in its unknowable pursuit. It is crawling around in your thoughts, scratching them with its sides and then changing their shape. Perhaps all this is just a bad dream, the quirk of an intellect that exhausted by endless troubles, the calming of a mind too weak for the burden that it was made to carry. A stray light dawns at the edge of your perception. Oh boy. And why are we here? This looks like Kiavagama. This looks a lot like Kiavagama.
Pointed us, rogue trader from Valancius.
Oh boy, that's a lot of goop.
Embrace true power.
Achilles Scalander? Why are you here? I focused all my attention on investigating the attacks across your protectorate. I suspected there was something bigger behind the Xenos attacks. But so they're gonna find out about Scalander, who they almost offed.
I tread a path unexplored.
Inquisition, Lord Inquisitor, okay. So then I'm going to ignore any minor liberties that you, esteemed Lord Trader, may have afforded yourself. Do my eyes deceive me? Explain yourself, Elentok.
You are accused of consorting with Xenos, betraying the Imperium, and neglecting the interests of humankind.
Yeah, they're gonna find that one out. Oh, these are all the companions that look dead. So what do you want from me?
All is waiting for your explanations. Come closer.
Why is Theodora there? Here comes our principal witness, the rogue trader himself. If the presented evidence was not enough to convince you, his testimony will conclude this confusing case full of oath-breaking, lies, and heresy. You dragged this boy into a trial and now expect someone will lend an ear to a lowly heretic's testimony. I thought better of you, Interrogator von Calyx. I was so very wrong. Enough. Let him speak. The sooner this business is concluded, the better. Let us continue. Shielded by the powers of the warrant of trade granted by the Imperium, Theodora von Valancius more than once allowed herself to openly collaborate with the Xenos. She plunged her entire protectorate into apostate and heresy, including the current rogue trader, and went out of her way to prevent the Inquisition and me personally from maintaining order inside the Expanse. Does the rogue trader admit to fraternizing with the Xenos, serving them as a puppet, rejecting the God Emperor's blessed light for the sake of his heretical desires and base profit? Requires iconoclast adherent. The Xenos is gone. Why is the Lord Inquisitor here and Theodora's reanimated corpse too? Didn't she die? Everything is wrong here. Died, you say? But who are you talking to if I did? Get one simple truth into your empty head. Your role in these events is negligible. You shall think me the God Emperor on the Golden Throne if I so choose, and think me dead if it strikes my fancy, but this is not what matters right now. Just looking in your direction makes me sick. Why must I speak to the filth? The last words are obviously meant for the court, not you. So obviously looks like they didn't like that because I went, this is a dream. Heinrich bends over you with a crooked smile. Rogue trader, are you alright? Or is your heretical association with the Xenos so disruptive that you lost your mind? The mocking words do little to hide his irritation. The interrogator is obviously displeased with the turn of the conversation is taking. The Inquisitor leans forward slightly at the sight of your anguish. For a brief moment, the boredom in his eyes are gone. It was amusing, but the joke has outstayed its welcome. It is painfully obvious the heretic is dancing to your tune. His word against mine. You had lost before you had even unsheathed your blade, Heinrichs. You need not worry, dear Lord Captain. It was not my intention to bring up unsupported claims. The rogue trader uncovered the crimes of the Eldari on the most important agri-world of the Von Valancius Protectorate, which feeds many Imperium colonies in the Expanse. But instead of purging the planet of the Xenos menace, he allowed the Inhumans to take refuge in the shadow of his power. They are corrupting Janus society as we speak, and who knows, perhaps another rebellion will not be long coming. The rogue trader has often been accompanied by a Xenos companion. Though the warrant of trade does allow one to grant sanction to individual specimens, what is this if not a confirmation of the Von Valancius' family's loyalty to the enemies of humanity? The rogue trader's ties to the Drakhuri, a different subspecies of an Eldari, are just so as obvious. What the hell are they trying to spin? Who else would help him divine the carefully prepared plans of the Drakhuri if not other Drakhuri? Miacidae von Valancius always ended up on the location of the Drakhuri raid, knowing for certain where they were going to strike. Yes, I did cooperate with the Xenos. This I won't deny. Cooperation is a double-edged sword. Sometimes you use your partner, and sometimes the partner uses you. Which is what happened to the rogue trader. Lady Theodora used him to undermine the standing of the Imperium in the Expanse. The tribunal remains silent, although those present cast anxious glances in your predecessor. This is very weird. Oh, I guess it's a way of Drakhuri getting their info, but it's a very odd way of getting info. Tricking them into saying what happened when I genuinely have no clue. At this point, the tribunal probably wants to know what the true intentions of the von Valancius dynasty are. The rogue trader claims he has been waging war on the Drakhuri this entire time, except was there really a war? Or was it another carefully staged performance? Allow me to explain what actually happened. Miacidae von Valancius personally invited the Drakhuri to his world, then used the strength and resources to sow chaos in the Expanse to gain leverage over his rivals. It is very convenient to play the victim, while working with those who rob your neighbors blind and terrify the worlds that pay you tribute. How much did he profit from this, rogue trader? Did you think I would not uncover your pathetic conspiracy? Decision consequences. You served the Drakhuri. You did their bidding. They helped you survive. Without the Drakhuri masters, you would be dead. No, that's not what happened. Enough with this circus. Willpower succeeded. Rogue trader. You are destroying your only chance to make yourself useful to the Inquisition and me personally. Do not tempt fate. Do not resist the examination. You're really saying your war with the Drakhuri was not a hoax? Then how did you and your foolish subjects know the coordinates of the enemy ships every time? How did you know their targets? Do you think your expert on all things Xenos was shrewd enough to divine the carefully devised plan of the Cabal's finest? He never says Cabal. That's another hole in his plan. No, only other Drakhuri could do that, and even then, only a few. This means you were in collusion with them. Bull-headed stubbornness does not befit a man of your pedigree, rogue trader. But since you have decided to deny everything, I will summon another witness. I'm sure everyone will find it interesting to explore this sordid story from another angle. Yrliet suddenly takes a graceful step forward, or materialize. If this court so desires, my speech will run like a river and wash away your doubts. She would not speak here. I found a shard of my home in the rogue trader's chambers. An entire craft world vanished among the stars, only to find the only clue to its fate resting in the hands of this monkey. Is that what she was mad about? That was when I began to suspect he had something to do with the misfortune that had befallen my Cruadark. Do not be deceived by his breed. There is a cunning predator lurking beneath the fluttering of fragile butterfly wings. This monkey before you is a bizarre amalgamation of qualities not usually inherent in his feeble species. He has mastered the mysteries of many of this world's creatures, the secret of the universe and ancient artifacts, the fine art of war, the intricacies of deceit. All are embodied in a single monkey, however hard it may be to believe. However, the thread that bound our paths broke the moment I realized the monkey's involvement in the disappearance of my home. To flee the rogue trader, I tracked down and eliminated his chief tracker, who has pursued our kin in this part of the galaxy for many years, and thus earned clemency before this court. So Achilles did not simply vanish. You helped him disappear. I say he had only himself to blame. An agent who cannot recognize an impeding threat is useless. Achilles was alive, though. Achilles was alive. I saw him right before I departed the world. Hendrix nods with satisfaction, noticing your reaction, or rather the lack of it. The court has been presented with enough evidence, and I hope no one is harboring any doubts as to the guilt of the von Valancius dynasty. But let us allow the rogue trader to say his final word. We are all curious to know what you have gleaned from this inquiry. I see that I have been blind and the Xenos have been fighting one another all this time, and I've been their cat's paw. Good monkey. Enough. Although that will maybe tell them Well, that's gruesome. I had no clue what the hell was going on. After the spell is lifted, a staggering pain pierces your body. Darkness clouds your vision and nausea creeps up your throat. But the wounds you manage to forget soon remind you that you are still alive. Oh, this is a new one. Archon. Oh, it's the Archon, though. Nazraki? Nazraki, okay. Nazraki. The weakness of your subjects is an insult to the Council of Archons and the Supreme Overlord of Kamora herself, Ymires. Instead of fighting and ripping what they are owed from Destiny's hands by force, they dare to crawl into the Dark Palace begging for favors. So Lord Xenos, look at the female Drakhuri. The Xenos is wearing armor encrusted with jewels and stands calmly next to the speaker. Such behavior is typical of Xenos occupying higher tiers of Drakhuri hierarchy, which means you are facing one of the Archons. So Arzahai is probably right next to me here. They've been... Oh, I've been in a special prison this entire time. The smug grin has fled Marzahai's face. He clutches the hilt of his blade and casts a vicious look at the female Drakhuri in sumptuous armor. Yrliet absorbs every word, occasionally wincing in pain and covering her weeping wounds. Her posture and gesture are full of tension. Like prey covered by a pack of predators, she shrinks under the hungry stares of those around her. And the Drakhuri on the throne. One half of his face is hidden behind a golden mask of intimidating visage. The other half is showing a malicious, sharp-toothed leer. The Xenos' elaborate armor is decorated with skulls and patches of human skin impaled on countless blades and hooks. He carries himself with authority and ease, as though he is a ruler who holds the threads of fate of all those present tightly within his grasp. So listen to the conversation as best we can. With the greatest respect, mighty Nazraki, Archon of the Cabal of the Black Heart, first among the chosen, voice of the Overlord of the Dark City, bringer of demise, conqueror of 100 worlds. The Council of Archons has heard enough platitudes, Drakon Marzai, and no longer wishes to. Sly intrigue, ruthless to chill, jagged eyes, turns lips and tongues. Who the hell is this? Stranger. Looks very interesting. A vitral verbose, the cut and thrust, keep time with fate of owns machinations grave, but whose deft footwork leads does not but dust. While from its brutish finish can none save, this play the puppet master granted me, though murky stalls a path obligating. Screw it. The puppet master has Vect himself invited you to this chamber? No matter, you may be our guest. But you are merely a spectator in this performance, and spectators do not belong on the stage, as you undoubtedly know. Do not interfere. A shadow in the shadows I will be. Let's look at the Eldari who interrupted the trial. The bright, motley hollow suit, this mask hiding its owner's face, and graceful, subtle movements before you stands a harlequin. Another representative of the multifaceted Eldari race, the Xenos catches your eye and nods. For a moment, a play of shadows on the mask appears to twist its expression into a grin. And recall what you know about Vect. You have heard many gruesome tales about the atrocities of the Drakhuri, but the cruelest and vilest always involved Abduval Vect, the Archon of the Cabal of the Black Heart, supreme overlord of Kamora and the most dangerous of all his kind. So just keep listening to the conversation, let's not piss him off quite yet. The Archon addresses the Drakhuri standing beside him with, "How does an Archon intend to pay for her Cabal's blatant disrespect? I'm waiting for your reply, Ymires, and my patience is wearing thinner with each breath." Okay. His eyes widen, filled with astonishment and disbelief. He seems to have been certain for the outcome and did not expect what he's hearing. His lips twist into an enraged snarl, hatred directed at the Xenos on the throne, and that finds no outlet under the gazes of the Drakhuri in the chamber. I humbly bow before the Council of Archons and apologize for this outburst on behalf of the Cabal. Allow me to prove my respect to you with a humble gift. She points at you with the clawed finger and flashes a satisfied grin. The Drakon of the Cabal of the Reaving Tempest himself and his amusing monkey plaything with their entourage of hapless freaks will enter your arenas and fight the best warriors for the crowd's amusement. He's gonna join me? Komora accepts your gift, Ymir, but what should I do, for Marzahai is first among your blades? Should I cast him out of the palace and condemn him to disgrace, or should I be merciful and allow him to leave the chamber on his own? I think I know who will make this difficult decision, a creature whose mewling of the Council of Archons was meant to heed. Is this not right, Marzahai? You will receive what you have been longing for. It will be the monkey who decides your fate. Marzahai's face contorts in despair. I get to decide his fate? His gaze shifts from the Archon to you, then at Ymiri's and back. He does not dare to utter objection. He was a worthy opponent. Let him go to the arena. Silence, monkey. You can choke on your pity. I have no need of it. The monkey has chosen your fate, Marzahai. Let this be a lesson to you. Lay down your weapon, follow the guards, and may the pity of a lesser being serve as a mark of disgrace far worse than the wrath of the Archons. The Archon nods in satisfaction and makes an unfamiliar gesture. The guards draw closer to you. Let us return to you, Ymiri's. The Harlequin's laughter interrupts the Archon and echoes under the vaults of the chamber, and all the masks upon their marks now stand. The slave of vanity in the spire ascends, the thief and traitor cast downward by her hand. Unbeknownst to all, their fate depends upon a lead unseen, a player green. The Harlequin leans forward and eyes on you with genuine interest. Is this how you treat hospitality of Komora, Abayan? You insult me by interrupting the trial again. You, Archons, speak with just a rebuke. In truth, fate's melodies and snarls fantastic have entrapped me here, and when I have heard them play, I could not keep my lips from grinning wide. Here comes an hour of shadows to retreat, to where the curtains waits and rise. The laugh with no beginning now sends forth the call. Weird little one. They just whapped me with a sword again? So I guess I'm going to some arena now. But Marzahai is gonna be joining me? This is gonna be a thing. Oh, they're gonna find me in this pile. The world is an impenetrable haze of warm pain. You lie motionless, no, you rest, in the murky gloom, slowly dissolving into nothingness. Sometimes your repose is troubled by unpleasant and persisting tremors coming from the place where your legs used to be. You do your best to ignore them. Stranger. Away, vulture. This is not your prey. A vaguely familiar voice reaches you through the curtain of darkness, but your disobedient thoughts refuse to reveal where and when you have heard it before. Was it recently or 100 lifetimes ago? The trembling comes from your legs, is replaced by a violent jerking motion, and then finally stops. From this phantasmagoria retreat, and deftly seize my merchant vagabond. The puppet master strings left dangling again rise up to take your place and dance. Until I get a cup of recap, my vital status is yet to be determined. Alas, the bliss of death will save you not. The whirling waltz of chance and gloom you'll dance. A prickling sensation burns your shoulder, and the darkness at last fully withdraws you from your mind. Whatever the injection was, it's making your heart beat a frenzied tattoo. Huh? It is making your heart beat a frenzied tattoo. That makes no sense to me. And your pupils narrow so that you now register every detail of a disgusting place which you now have found yourself in the merciless clarity. Karus, feel your body. Failed. Every inch of your body is suffering. Satisfied with this result, you do not delve into the detailed examination. Look at the rescuer. Your eyes refuse to focus on the blurry figure of the person who came to your aid. He appears to be Toll, and your mind refuses to continue, for every moment of concentration causes you suffering. I've seen you before, where a dream obscure of death, deliverance, illuminating will, and agony. Where am I? Among the shadows and wings you lie, where taut are pulled in puppet master strings. Where are my companions? Not here. The roles have been decided now, but if you play your part, perhaps the plot will draw you back together, or to doom. This overture in a verse, the final lines, the merchant's time to tread and boards has come. Embark now upon your pilgrimage and take my parting gift a humble prop. So gift beyond the grave. Well, it's better than nothing. I'm guessing we don't have any other gear, so we have a pistol. A weak, unremarkable and weak pistol. The engravings cover its surface are far more valuable than any meager stopping power it might possess. So attempt to rise. Your body has suffered too much to obey your mind, or rather, that's how it would have been for someone else. Perhaps, but not for you. You have lived through worse. Anguish and torture could never break you now. You will rise to your feet and press on. All that's left to understand is why you should. There's a lot riding on me. A lot of people riding on me. That iconoclast one. A lot of worlds living on me. Hundreds of faces flash before your mind's eye. Friends, subjects, companions. The universe is cruel and full of darkness. And your will and determination are the only barrier between your loved ones and its crushing apathy and brutality. You have no right to die. Not here, not now. Resoluteness floods your veins like incandescent plasma, and you make another attempt to get up. Gained the power of honor effect. Duration permanent. 10 toughness. I'm cool with that. You get up. Yes, your body aches and rebels against you, but your tempered mind is stronger than mortal flesh. You draw yourself straight up and take in your surroundings. We should also probably... We have nothing equipped, so yeah, pistol. And we gotta get out of here. So there's a lot we can search. We're gonna do that.
As always.
We actually might need that stuff. So this is... Where'd it go? Well, I lost the stim, I guess.
Predictable.
A gladiator's healing kit. Restores 37 wounds, removes bleeding, burning toxin. That'll be helpful to inventory. There we go. I got 2 of those. Beggar right here. Can we just talk to them? Okay. And I have an injury for now that I can get rid of, but I don't want to use that kit yet.
The world trembles beneath my feet.
Another beggar right here. That corpse is mine. Just gonna search everything around here I can. Multi-key so I can get into other stuff.
I see the forbidden.
Your wounds barely hurt at all and your body feels surprisingly light. That's good, right? Search these.
Triumphant.
There we go. There's that stem. The contents of the injector bubble playfully as if urging you to find out whether liquid inside is poison or medicine. Oh joy.
Perfection.
Another gladiator healing kit. Well, we might need to use that stem, so I'll equip it for now. There was stuff over here that I'm definitely gonna search.
Predictable.
A skin pouch removing trauma. Let's use one of these. Removing 1 injury, because we have
leave my mark upon the galaxy.
a injury. So that'll just help for now.
The world will bow.
Your wounds barely hurt at all. Wonder why it keeps doing that. So an exit to the pits over there. So let's go this way for now. Just keep searching.
Guides my gaze. Ruinous favor.
Another skin pouch. It keeps making these beggars look like loot. This is interesting that it keeps doing that.
A revelation was
Another
sent
spot
to
to
me.
search.
Triumphant as always.
I have a feeling that
How fascinating.
we're gonna need as much of this loot stuff as we can get.
Predictable.
To help us out.
Seize the opportunity.
What is this? An enormous eye stares at you through the glowing portal, or rather, the portal is the eye of something enormous in its maw, patiently waiting for you to step inside. No thank you. Is that it for over here? Okay.
Imperium guides
Another
my gaze.
awareness to probably get another kit or something, but what we can get is what we can get. A melted charge. Oh, I did it again. The melted charge didn't go to my inventory.
Powers unseen uncover my path.
Okay. So we're gonna put the skin patch here as well, so I can get rid of traumas. I'm not gonna do that athletics at all. You fool. Do you have a death wish? That's why they come to get people here, to gut people like us. Still gonna try to sneak past. Told you not to let them see you. They're hunters. Butchers.
Purpose guides me.
Well, I tried to shoot them, but looks like this pistol isn't gonna do much.
I tread a path unexplored.
Looks like that kinda worked.
You were but a fleeting flame.
I was hoping to kinda get by, but this only counted as half cover. Well, start battle with pistol. A very one-sided battle here.
Your efforts amuse me.
Mark as prey. We're going to analyze this one. Then cull the bold, piercing shot. Shoot this one. Get the crit.
Accept my offering.
My vengeance!
Claim the bounty.
Let the true master inflict the pain.
And we're not even going to get one with that.
I will not stoop to this.
And then they're going to get me here, aren't they?
My revenge will be delectable!
Possible.
Yep. How far back is that autosave? Oh. That is a ways back. Well, I suppose we will pick up from here next time at the start, where I'll get back to essentially the pit there. And then I suppose we have to essentially sneak past those somehow without getting off by those three guys, because yikes. But I suppose that'll be it for this time then, because we know what's in the Chartist vessel, but then it kind of goes downhill from there, and that place looks like it's going to be a little hard to get out of, because we had a lot of good gear. It just gets taken away from us in that area. And yeah, we'll pick up from there. So that'll be it for this time. As always, I wish you all well. I will see you next time, and please, have a good one.